Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Solana. We've had a bit of a move up with the CPI data that came out yesterday, and now we are looking to see whether we are going to continue to the upside or do we have some downside potential here. These are the questions we're going to be answering shortly, but first I'd like to say thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave us a comment potentially with some coins you'd like us to look at. Okay, so let's get into this price action here. And what we're looking at here is there's a few options. Basically, we're looking at this as within a fourth wave correction. So either we are going to be, this is the one option I'm looking at as a potential triangle that we could be forming. And what we'd be looking for here within this move is that we have a potential move where we have this as an A wave. All of this is a corrective wave, and we could be looking for another move to the upside in another 5-wave move. So within this move, if I just drop this onto this high point, I'll adjust that in a second, bring this down to the low point. Let's actually get this right up here. There we go. So potentially there's a chance for us to move up to the 1-to-1 area, which if I just drop this line in, so that would be the 1745 area. And basically what we'd be looking for is another 5-wave move to the upside. So off this low here, we do seem to have some kind of impulsive structure here. So this is a good start. So if we just actually come in and zoom in on this, within this example, what we'd be looking for is that we have the potential to form a bigger 5-wave move. So if we look at the smaller time frames here, we've got 1, 2, we can have this all up here until 1, 2, 3. Let's just check the levels of this quickly. Let me just bring this right up here. So it is possible that we have just missed out on this 1.618 here on this wave, and that what we have is we can either have a 1, 2 there, and then this is a third, but it looks a bit neater to have it here. So it is possible that all of this within this move here is a third wave, and then we are looking for this fifth wave to the upside. If this is the case, we did retrace just past this 50%. So I'm just wondering. Okay, so we'll go over this way first, and then we'll go over another potential we have here. So basically within this move, what we'd be looking at is the potential that this move here is a fifth wave, because you break in above this B wave top, so this wave 3 top here. We've not quite reached the target area for this. This would be my ideal target area for this, would be this 1452 to this 1429. But we are starting to get a bit of rejection from here. The internal structure could indicate a diagonal where this is a 1, 2, 3. We might get a small wave for a fourth and then another push up into this zone. If that's the case, we could, like I said, target out this area. But what we'd be looking for ideally then, if this is playing out, we would be looking for a retracement to the downside here. So if we just go into this zone there, we don't really know where exactly this is going to play out into this zone. So I'm just being conservative. It could actually be done, like we were saying just now, but the structure suggests potentially an ending diagonal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to bring this back up here a little bit more. And then basically we'd be looking for a retracement down into these lower zones here, between the 0.5 to the 786 as a potential B wave or wave 2 move. So if I just actually change this color of this, let's throw some lines on here, some price indicators. So between that 1353 to this 1309 area would be a good range to come into. The 618 layers on this 1335, which we can also see as previous resistance, so it could look to back test this area. But basically within this move, if we were looking for a bigger 5-wave move to the upside, what we would be looking for is a move up into this zone here, looking for that rejection back down into these lows, and then looking for additional third wave to the upside as shown there. If I just measure this out. This is very rough because we don't know whether this is a completed 5-wave move yet. But basically from here, what we'd be looking for is the potential that moving up past this 1.618 here at 1629 would trigger a fourth and a fifth wave to the upside. And what we'd be looking for then is basically this 5 wave move would look to target out this zone up here, which is, if I just drop this in here, so between the 1717 area and the 1666 area, this could indicate a completed 5 wave move and would tie in quite nicely with the idea of having a triangle um, developing here. Unfortunately, we don't really get confirmation of these triangles until we actually drop back down and form this D wave, but it is worth keeping an eye out. So this is the one potential that we could be seeing something like this, where we form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into these highs. So that would effectively be the C wave leg here, and then we'd be looking for a drop back to the downside in the D and an E wave if it's going to be a bigger triangle. And because we are currently looking for a fourth wave correction, we cannot rule out the idea of getting a triangle in this space. So when we started talking about this, there is also a way that potentially if we don't move up in a fifth wave here, that we could have had a completed 5 wave move in this. And what I'd be looking for then is basically it's similar, but it's not quite the same, because if we looked at this, we could have a 1, 2, 3 short third wave here. I just need to make sure that this is not longer. No, it's not. So this would be a third into there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an extended wave. It's more common for your wave 3 to be extended, but it's not impossible that this could be a 5 wave move completed here with a 5th wave extension. If that is the case, then what we would be looking for is actually that this is forming a flat correction, and we are going to go potentially up to this. Actually, it's pretty much the same area within this box. So if it is actually an extension here, then what we would have is a potential 1, 2, 1, 2 area. So either we're going to be going up as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're going to hold this high at 1357, and basically from here look to progress to the upside in a 5 wave move, without losing this low, and that would indicate an extension. And what we'd then have is this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then our wave 3 would be there. So the difference between these two moves basically is if we fail to break back above this 1357, and rather we look to retrace potentially down to, we'd have to look at this again as a diagonal within here, or this would be a 1, 2, and then we're forming another 1, 2 on a smaller degree. But basically, we would be looking for a retracement back down to this 1391 to this 1371 area if we're looking at an extension within these waves. Losing this low here, though, of 1357 would make me look to the support zone. This potential for an impulsive move would be invalidated by crossing this 1276 area. So that is what I'm looking out for the chance of getting this bigger 5 wave move to the upside here. So either we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we have a 1, 2, and we're going to start forming a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're not going to break back below this 1357 area. So if I just cycle off this triangle potential, we were also looking at another option where we had a running flat, and we haven't managed to break above this point again. And until we do break above it, I am still being cautious that it's just the structure isn't very good here for saying that we were starting a 5 wave move to the downside. So I don't think it's complete one way or another. Whether we don't form a bigger structure to the upside here, I think it is still possible that we could look to take this high one more time, and then rather than looking at this as a bigger A, B, C, like a running flat, what we could just have is a WX, and then all of this is a Y wave, and that would effectively complete the move, and then we'd look to break down. So the 1-to-1 of this Y wave is still the same as previously indicated, which if I just measure it off again so that we can all be sure on it, basically that would come in here at this 1736 area, though it doesn't have to travel as high as that. The minimum requirement I'd be looking for sort of is this 1543. A move up into this 1543 area could be a completed correction, and then we could look to break down. Though confirmation only really comes by taking out these lows here at 1094 and this low that we've set here at 1276. Until we take those lows, there is potential for some extension. And talking about extension, if I just switch back over here, we go down to this, we change off the running flat and we look for the expanding flat potential. So within this move, we're still keeping an eye on the fact, if I just delete this ABC because we don't need it anymore, basically what we're looking for is the potential we could still be forming a bigger 5-wave move here to the upside, and that would only come, confirmation of that would only come by looking to cross past this $20.47. It's too early to say whether this is going to be the case. If we start to get some 1-2s developing here, and we're looking to make this bigger third wave, like I said, either way, I think we still got to come back and retest this zone. If we are going to progress. So it's important to see whether we hold this 1276. If we continue to hold this 1276, then we can continue to sort of look for evidence that this is in play. And what that would be is that we would be looking for some extensions within these waves somewhere. So potentially we might get this as a 1-2, then we would form another 1-2, and then we'd look to break up in a third wave to the upside. Though currently looking at the stochastics, it is unlikely that we are going to get this impulsive structure because of the fact that everything except for the daily is overbought, and the daily is just outside that region. So if we do see some upside here, I do think it is going to be short-lived, and I don't think that this is going to be a longer-term move, not unless we can start to see these stochastics to dropping without much price damage. If we can see these start to drop off a little bit, maybe in this wave 2 correction, once this is completed, then there's possibility that we could still be looking for this upside potential. But we just need to bear in mind we are looking for an additional 5-wave move to the downside. So this is just, we need to be careful because currently what, if we take it off this, just off of this zone here, and we say it's a flat correction, basically we'd take it from this high point, we could still be looking to push down towards this $9.62 to this $7.80 region. Just that's based off of the current, if this is a running flat over here. So we would have to just be aware that we don't want to lose these lows, otherwise we're heading down to this zone. The structure isn't good though, like I said, so for the time being, I do think that we have a little bit more upside potential here, but we'll have to see how these react around these zones. And I hope if you found this video useful, you will leave us a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, leave us some comments down below, maybe some altcoins you would like us to check out. And yeah, don't forget that also in the description there is a link to Discord. This is where we've got so much going on in there. Basically, jump in there to the general chat, have a chat with us. We just mention a member of staff, and we'll be able to help you out with anything that you may need. Also in the description, you'll find a link to BYBIT. Great exchange to use. It's the one we use when we're doing our trades, whether it's spot trading, leverage trading, long or short. It really is a good exchange to use. Okay, with all that said and done, I'd like to say keep safe out there, everybody. We have a lot of volatility today with the FOMC meeting, so just be careful, please.